Today is Thursday, August 7th, 2025. We are going to read Bored and Bright, Sook and Lee together. This story was written by Shantel Ivits and it comes from BC Reads, Adult Literacy, Fundamental English, Reader 3.
Lee. Sook-Yen Lee has been called, quotes, a cultural Jill of all trades.
Sook-Yeon Lee has been called a culture Jill of all trades. Culture Jill of all trades.
This means she can do a little bit of everything.
This means she can do a little bit of everything. Sook-Yeon Lee has been called a culture Jill of all trades. Culture Jill of all trades. This means she can do a little bit of everything. A culture Jill a culture Zill of all trades. Trades. A culture Jill. Jack of all trades. Jill of trades. Culture Jill of all trades. Sook-Yeon Lee has been called a culture Jill of all trades. This means she can do a little bit of everything.
She's a musician.
She is a musician,
Actor.
Actor.
Writer.
Writer.
Filmmaker.
Filmmaker.
And broadcaster.
Broadcaster.
Since she was a child, she has loved putting on a show.
Since she was a child, she has loved putting on a show. Putting on a show. She has loved putting on a show.
At the heart of a good show is a good story.
At the heart of a good show is a good story. At the heart of a good show is a good story.
She says stories are how she makes sense of a world that's both strange and wonderful.
Since she was a child, she has loved putting on a show. At the heart of a good show. At the heart of a good show is a good story. She says stories are how she makes sense of a word that's both strange and wonderful. Word that's both strange and wonderful. A heart of a good show is good story. She says stories are how she makes sense of a word. How she makes sense of a word that both strange and wonderful. Make sense of a word that's both strange and wonderful. At the heart of a good show is good story. She says story are how she makes sense of words that both strange and wonderful. Make sense of.
Sook-Yin grew up in North Vancouver. Her
Sook-Yen grew up in North Vancouver.
parents moved to British Columbia from China.
Her parents moved to British Columbia from China.
They were strict. And her mom used to hit her.
They were strict, and her mom used to hit her. They were strict. They were strict. Strict.
Strict.
Strict. And her mom used to hit her.
So Sook-yin ran away when she was 15.
So Sook-yin ran away when she was 15.
Her sister Didi went too.
Her sister Didi went too.
Together, they lived on the streets.
Together, they lived on the street.
Didi fell in with a violent gang and died very young.
Didi fell in with a violent gang and died very young. Didi fell in with a violent gang and died very young.
Sook-yin turned to the arts for survival.
Sook-yin turned to the art of survivor. Arts for survivor. Sook-yin turned to the arts for survivor.
In the late 1980s, she became the lead singer of a Vancouver-based punk band.
She became She became the lead singer of a Vancouver-based punk band called Bob's Your Uncle.
Called Bob's Your Uncle.
Called Bob's Your Uncle.
The owner of Much Music heard about her.
The owner of Much Music heard about her
and asked her to try out a based punk band called Bob's Your Uncle. The owner of Much Music heard about her.
The owner of Much Music heard about her
and asked her to try out for a job as a VJ. A VJ is like a DJ for music videos.
A VJ is like a DJ for music videos.
She landed this dream job. She quickly became known for being smart, funny, and fearless.
She quickly became known for being smart, funny, and fearless.
In 1995, gay people won some basic human rights. Sook-yin celebrated by kissing another woman on air.
Sook-yin celebrated by kissing another woman on air.
And on her last day at Much Music, she said goodbye. By mooning the camera.
Mooning the camera. She said goodbye by mooning the camera.
Mooning.
Goodbye by mooning the camera.
In 2002, she moved to CBC Radio. As host of a show called Definitely Not the Opera.
CBC Radio as host of a show called Definitely Not the Opera.
The show is about Canadian pop culture.
The show is about Canadian pop culture.
It also became a place for Canadians to share stories about the sad, joyful, and embarrassing moments of modern life.
It has also become a place for Canadians to share stories about the sad, joyful, and embarrassing moments of modern life.
What makes Sook-yin different is that she doesn't hold back.
What makes Sukan different is that she doesn't hold back. What makes Sukan is different is that she doesn't hold back. She doesn't hold back.
She shares her stories on the air too.
She shares her stories on the air too.
In 2006, CBC threatened to fire Sook for starring in a racy film called Short Bus.
In 2006, CBC threatened threatened to fire Sukan for starring in a racy film called Short Bus. Racy film called Short Bus.
Threatened.
Threatened. In CBC 2000 in 2006, CBC threatened to fire Sukan for starring in racy film called Short Bus.
After the film was shown at the Cannes Film Festival, people stood and clapped for 20 minutes.
After the film was shown at the Cannes Film Festival, people stood and clapped for 20 minutes.
This act sent a loud message about
This act sent a loud message about letting artists express themselves.
letting artists express themselves.
This act sent a loud message about letting artists express themselves.
So CBC didn't fire her after all.
So CBC didn't fire her after all. Short burst, racy film, starring in, threatened to fire, said goodbye. Mooning the camera.
Since then, Sook has continued to live by her motto.
Since then, Sukan has continued to live by her motto.
Be bold, shine bright.
Be bold, shine bright.
She shows us how storytelling and the arts can help us find who we are.
She shows us how storytelling and the arts can help us find who we are,
connect with
others,
and make it through whatever life has in store for us.
and make it through whatever life has in store for us. She shows us how storytelling and the arts can help us find who we are, connect with others, and make it through whatever life has in store for us.